Division. The future will be characterized by political division, as the Republican and Democratic parties will continue to disagree and separate farther and farther apart. Our oceans. They will be consumed by plastic, suffocating our marine life and making its way into our food chain. Our sea will acidify, killing our coral reefs and turning them into lifeless boneyards. Technology. It will dominate every aspect of our lives. We will become entirely dependent on our phones and computers. Social media and self-comparison will escalate to devastating levels. Climate change. As our dependency on fossil fuels continues, our Earth will warm, raising sea levels and polluting our air. Forests will continue to burn, causing immense habitat destruction. Consumerism. Our culture, especially American culture, is encouraging the imaginary need for excessive material items. This unhealthy practice is ruining the environment and degrading human morals. However, efforts are being made to change this. But money and corruption is hindering change.
They would take me from your hand, or they would try. This is the murmur of the land. This is the sound of love's marching band. And how they hold you like a gun. And how I sing you like a song I heard when I was young and buried for a night like this. Buried for a night like this.
The earth has given us life, and most importantly, a life worth living. We must make a change to find balance with our planet and within ourselves before it's too late.
Every angler has their tips for fishing. Use your favorite red bait. Face the wind and cast far. Act like a fish. And be one with the fish. once was fishing. Now, due to this, and especially this is why we are seeing so many changes. Because of this pollution, fish and other aquatic animals are eating our man-made waste because they don't know what it is. Imagine this. You come home from a long day and sit down for dinner, and you start eating, and those pieces of plastic and other materials that are not food going into your stomach, and think that there was nothing for you to do to stop it. This is what aquatic animals are forced to eat because of humans being careless. Right now, about 40% of the lakes in America are too polluted for fishing, aquatic life, or even swimming. This affects all species because they drink this polluted water, which now carries diseases that makes them get sick. This is again caused by neglected humans in this ecosystem. This trash causes the fish to be harmed and consumes the oxygen they need to survive. 100 million marine animals are killed each year by plastic waste alone, and this number is just going to keep rising. Some of us might not think of air pollution affecting our bodies or water, but it does through rain, which leads into our beautiful streams and rivers. Anything can help. Small impacts will make bigger ones. 1 million tons of oil makes its way into marine environments each year due to unnatural sources. We need to act now. Some materials break down way over 500 years, and these animals that are being harmed don't have that time. Some people even overfish or deplete future generations by keeping small fish they catch. Unfortunately, there are even some people who use methods of fishing that are unnecessary and are harmful to fish. This all as on top of the pollution. Now, do you really want to ruin this moment?
The average lifespan is 82 years, which equates to 29,930 days, or 718,000 hours. This may sound like a lot, but in all these years and days and hours, we go to school, and instead of spending our weekends with friends and family, we spend them on our phones. And then we go to work and start a family, and then eventually we retire. Maybe one day we will visit new countries and meet new people and live our lives, but until then we wait and spend our time on our phones. And life moves on, with or without us. We wait for when we have thousands of friends, we wait for when we finally graduate school, we wait for when we have the perfect life. But why are we waiting? We don't need to wait in order to start living our lives. Life doesn't follow a schedule. Doesn't wait for you to finish high school or for you to find the perfect person. We don't need to be traveling the world on great adventures to be living. Living isn't about the bigger things. It's about the little things. It's about those moments that feel like they belong in a movie, those moments that are once in a lifetime. It's about capturing those moments and treasuring them, instead of posting a photo online in hopes of validation in form of likes and comments. We should put down our phones and step outside. You never know whether or not you will have tomorrow. All you can be sure of is right now. But that is all you need to live your life to the fullest. So before you're busy with jobs and taxes, you should put down whatever device you're on. And whilst you're at this very moment, you need to make the most of it. So while you can, spend time with the people who matter the most. Watch the sun rise, sing at the top of your lungs, stay up all night talking with friends. Let go of whatever or whoever is holding you back. Go on an adventure, no matter how small. Be passionate, meet new people, and do new things. Spend every day like it could be your last. So stop waiting and start treasuring the little things. Because life is meant to be lived and not seen through a screen.
When I was younger, I was never like a really skinny girl. When I was little and in elementary school, I was never super thin, but I didn't really care, especially when I was little. I didn't think of myself like that. I didn't think of myself as bigger or anything like that. I really just kind of played like any other kid. I loved to eat, as most people do, but I grew up in a family who, we all loved to eat. We all made everything from scratch, so food really was a part of our family. As I got older, there were some kids who would call me chubby or fat, and that whenever that would happen, I would just go home. I would sob to my mom. I felt so badly about myself, and this was in the 3rd grade. When I was in 4th grade, I remember I gained 30 pounds in 1 year. And the doctor talked to me, and it was kind of it was a big deal. I was in the 4th grade, I weighed 127 pounds, which that really struck my mom, okay, now we really need to get serious about this. So, I would need to go to all these nutritionists and all this stuff. So I really started looking up online, trying all these fad diets, trying to do whatever I could to lose weight, and I was 10. So, at 10 years old, most kids aren't aware of themselves like that. So, and after that experience, I really started to become aware of how I looked and how the world perceived me. Not as this fun-loving kid, this funny kid. It was more of that chubby little girl over there. So I started to realize when I would go to the mall and stuff, I would look at all the girls and they were so skinny and I couldn't fit into any of the clothes that I wanted to. Just shopping was so hard. One of the many things. My self-esteem really deteriorated, and I was just, I thought that I was just disgusting. I hated the way I looked, and it wasn't, I tried to lose weight, and nothing was working. And then I think I was in about 5th grade, I got really, really, really sick. And so I lost 10 pounds in 3 days because I was so sick. So I lost weight off of that, and instead of trying to get better, I was just happy that I was losing weight. So I didn't do anything to help how sick I was. I was just yay, I'm losing weight, I'm puking every day. That's great. My mental state never changed. Even though I was skinnier, I still wasn't as skinny as all the other girls in my grade. I still really hated the way that I looked. As I got older and kind of later into middle school, it got better but worse at the same time. So in 8th grade, I started to lose weight but the healthy way. I was exercising, I was eating healthy, and so I was losing weight that way, but throughout that, I also became kind of obsessed. So if I would overeat, I would go upstairs and make myself puke. So it was really, through healthy, losing weight the healthy way, it also made my mental state again change because I was so obsessed. I would track all of my calories. I couldn't eat a piece of chocolate if I had gone over my calories. So again, it was the healthy way, but it also was not healthy for myself or for my mental state. Today I am very happy to say that I'm so much better than I was, and I think I got there through just really changing my mentality, just trying to be more positive, just kind of realizing nobody, very cliche, but nobody is perfect, and it's very ignorant for me to say that what you see in magazines and what you see on Instagram is reality, because it's not. I'm never gonna just love and accept who I am, but I think the further that you get and the more positive you are, the better you can become. Instead of just looking in the mirror and just hating how you look, you have to be like, yeah, this is me, and there's so much more to me than how I look.
Human is created for happiness, as a bird is created for flight. Here we are. Humanity, people, citizens, persons. Despite some historical events, we all came to the conclusion that it is normal for people to be different. We wouldn't live to these days being identical. It is unnatural for a person just as much as it is natural for us to be happy. And all of us are running for this. Happiness. Different things makes us happy. Happiness makes us different. My happiness differs from others' ones, but not always. Happiness unites when we find someone who can share happiness with us. Happiness unites and disconnects no less. As for me, I don't know, it is always harder to talk about yourself. I haven't yet met a person who became happy from green color just like me. You can believe or not, but I live in a green room. Everything here is green. Books, walls, bed, plants, curtains. I love to close green curtains on sunny day. Do you see? Even there, here, is green. So, maybe we were already happy, just haven't guessed about it yet.
Dear future me.
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 Hi. I hope you're doing well.
We're currently in quarantine right now. Quarantine has been pretty boring so far.
Quarantine is going okay. Dear future me. I'm actually having a pretty good quarantine so far. I'm looking forward to getting back to school though, and being able to see my friends and my boyfriend. But I've been getting by hanging out here Online schooling's a little rough, but I'm getting by. It's okay because, it's all worth the effort to stay healthy and just can't wait to go back. That's all.
Dear future me, what a time to be alive. Well, life is boring, I don't see people, and every day feels like the same. I never thought I'd miss school so much, and to be honest, I just want to enjoy my senior year right now. I get up at 7:30 and do remote schooling for a few hours, which sometimes can find me singing in my car at 8 in the morning, so as to not wake up the rest of the house. But to pass the time, I've been watching a lot of Disney Plus, playing a bunch of video games, and sleeping a lot more than normal. But I've been trying to bike and run a lot, but yesterday the pedal fell off my bike, so we'll see what happens there. But here's to hoping we get to graduate normally in June and we get to put Aida on stage. Till then.
Dear future me, Corona has been the most boring time of my life. And I'll probably never forget it because I've never been so angry at being bored and having nothing to do. I always want to break and now I'm stuck here and I have nothing to do. When it's done, I'm excited for any sort of social interaction outside of FaceTime or video games, anything. I just need to get out of the house. Grocery stores, and no, that's not gonna cut it. I need to do something, so yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
Dear future me, hi. I hope you're doing well. Quarantine hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be, but I'm still incredibly bored, and I'm really sad I'm missing out on my senior year like this, but I can't wait till I can finally go out again and see all my friends. I really miss them, and I just really want to resume my senior year, so hopefully I can do that. Okay, bye.
Dear future me, well, things in quarantine haven't been that awful. I've been able to catch up on schoolwork, just catch up in general on TV shows and just other news that's going on, and work on my overall mental health. I've also been able to relax a little bit more. But I can't wait for everything to go back to normal, because when it does, I can finally perform my school musical, go to concerts and shows, and just overall see my friends and have a good time. But yeah, things haven't been going that bad.
Dear future me, quarantine has been pretty boring so far. I've done the same 4 things every single day, and it's kind of getting old. Because I'm a sophomore, I'm not really missing out on much, so it's alright. But I do really miss my friends a lot, and I actually really miss going to school. And I hope I can go back soon, so I can make some more memories for the rest of my year. Bye.
Dear future me, quarantine is going okay. Trying my best to be productive. I think it's going kind of well. And I'm really looking forward to going to concerts again, and seeing my friends again, and driving again, and getting dressed up to go out. That's gonna be exciting. But yeah, things are going pretty well, so.
Dear future me, we're currently in quarantine right now, and I hope that it doesn't last too long because I'm really bored right now, but I have my sisters with me to get through it. I hope that we're back in theater soon because I miss it a lot and I miss all my friends. Hope you got that quarantine glow up. Yeah, I just really want to get back into the routine. I want to stop watching Netflix for 12 hours a day. And yeah, I miss everybody.
Dear future me, I know that you've been thinking a lot about the pain and grief that you've gone through in the past 3 months, but that doesn't define you, and your life doesn't stop here. There's so much more to experience. So don't let this stop you and put you on pause. Go out, and what you're doing now is enough.
My name is Noah James, and like many kids, I was raised by a single parent. I always wonder who my father is. And then, one day, my mom told me I was a test tube baby. So, I got one of those DNA kits and sent it out. I can't tell you how excited I was when the results came back. My father, he's an old, white, bald Polish dude.
Ah, you betcha!
We started hanging out and getting to know each other. And he's kind of famous.
Come and have a party with Hollywood. It's more fun than MJR. Big screens, big fun, makes you feel so good. It's more fun than MJR. It's more than just a movie, it's a big night out. Gotta go to the show.
And he even took me to meet his friends.
Hey guys, so this is my dad.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Young man, nice to meet you. Hello? Hello?
And he took me to this big Polish festival.
And we played basketball. Rampart! Rampart! Two! Foul.
We've been having lots of fun, huh?
You betcha.
Who could have thunk, or who would have thought? A DNA test introduced my dude to his pops. They're peculiar to watch, but yo, they're making it work. I guess we really didn't know just how to take it at first. Okay, check it work. Sharing heritage so special, bro. Countries, poker, and pierogies at the Polish festival. Next he let me know about how his dad was a star. He wrote, produced, and sang the jangle at MJR. Hate to take it too far. I don't mean to embarrass you. After hooping with your pops, I see now why you're terrible. Uncomparable, last night not even slightly bothered. Making new memories with his unlikely father.
He's not slightly bothered by his unlikely father. Not even slightly bothered by his unlikely father. Everybody holler. It's his unlikely father.
This project to me is like a marriage of everything that I really am into, which is art and community. It's what I call the art of advocacy. It's marrying art directly with advocacy, even though it's after the fact, but we can also use this as a starting point, like I said, for people to have conversations about how safe their streets are. Somebody was killed just at the very bottom of this bridge at least 6 months ago. They were riding their bike south and somebody came from behind and hit them and they passed away. We did place a ghost bike at the bottom of the bridge, but sometimes they get removed. It's not like an organization or a club, it's more just a bunch of volunteers doing the same thing, because all of this is funded directly from us. What happened was an artist saw somebody get hit on a bike, and then he painted a bike white and put it at the location. And then other folks started doing the same thing when cyclists get hit and killed. Eventually it's caught on and now it's just worldwide. Today we're by the LA River, but this bike is going to be placed at Los Coyotes in Stern in East Long Beach. We don't have the name of the person who passed away, but we know that it was an 82-year-old man. Long Beach on Stearns and Los Coyotes. We're looking for the exact location of where the cyclist was hit so that we can place the memorial. As someone that loves to ride a bike, and I teach bike safety, and I think that a lot more people should ride bikes more and maybe drive less until we can get, safer streets, then this is going to continue to happen, unfortunately. It is very difficult to do it, but we feel that we have a responsibility to do it. If it somehow helps the family just even a little bit, then it's worth doing. We were at my mom's house earlier, and out in front of her house she has a big, we have a memorial, we have an ofrenda, a table, and it's a bunch of our ancestors and relatives who've passed away. This is a lot like the same for me. We have to memorialize them because they are important, and to me it's an important part of who I am. So we usually put them up at night. I think seeing something that's monochromatic, just one white color, really pops out at night. It looks like a ghost bike.
Start recording.
Alright. I think we're recording. Are we good?
Do it again, louder. There you go.
Okay. My name's Jaden, and I love Queen. I've loved Queen for a long time now, but especially since my grandma introduced me to them. She was born November 18th, 1950 in the Lake District in England. My grandmother was really important to me for so many reasons, but like mostly because she just made me feel supported and loved.
She was smart for daddy.
My grandma passed March 6th, 2018. She was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So I had known before, and I had gone to visit her, which is when Queen specifically was introduced to me. At the time, like, her memory was starting to deteriorate, so she couldn't always remember like what we had done and what we hadn't, and she loved the carpool karaoke where they sang Queen, so I listened to it with her a lot, and we would just replay it and listen to the music, and I loved the music and she loved the music, and it was just a really good memory I had of her, and just a really good bonding moment before you know, she had passed on. About a year, I think, after she had passed, maybe a little less, I just had a day where I was really missing her. So I texted my dad and I was like, what were some of Grandma's favorite Queen songs? Because I, you know, remembered that we had really like had a great time listening to them. So I just started listening to them, and it really, it just like made me feel not only reconnected to her, but the music was so like uplifting, and the messages were positive, and so it also just put me in a better headspace, which was such a relief. When I was young, I didn't really have a great relationship with my dad, just because of, you know, the complications of not like living with him and stuff like that, and not seeing him all the time. But whenever my grandmother was in the States, she never failed to make me feel like I was really and like truly a part of what the family was.
You paint your body with enough beauty to stain your sleeves. That's beautiful, Emmett.
Thanks.
You could really go somewhere with this. Well, if you aren't going to play it for me, at least tell me what it's about.
Well, it's actually kind of about you.
Really?
But it's not like that. We've been friends forever.
What do you mean?
It's just because I think you're really beautiful and...
And what? You know what? I'm just gonna go.
You obviously need to sort out whatever this is, Emmett. I'm not just gonna sit here and embarrass myself.
Wait, Katie,
Dear Katie, I'm sorry. It's hard to explain exactly what's going through my head these days. I guess hard isn't really the right word either. It's sort of like never being able to really come home. Like I can't belong. And whenever something feels almost real, it melts away. Like snowflakes on your fingertips. I suppose that's a weird thing to say. The song I wrote, it's about you, but more about, well, I don't write about your soft skin because I want your hands in mine. I write about your soft skin because it's what I want to feel when I run my hands over my own. I don't write about your long golden hair because I find it cute when you tuck it behind your ears. I write about it because I wish my mom didn't always want me to keep my hair so short. I'm sure by now you have an idea of what most would say is wrong with me. I'm scared, because I know who I am. But if I let you read this letter, who will I be to you? And what would you think of her?
My eyes are kaleidoscopes, refracting the world in a technicolor fantasy. My family is happy to see me achieving. I'm not sleeping because there's so much I need to prove, and I'm running and running and running because running is all I know how to do. And maybe for a week or two, the blueness in my brain will wash away and I'll be born anew. That is, before the wave comes rushing in, leaving me gasping for something, anything, but the dread in my heart and the voice in my head whispering, "Get out while you can before the blue settles in."
Cut! That's my poem so far. I feel like I may be writing this poem for the rest of my life, because no number of lines or stanzas would be enough to capture what living with bipolar disorder is like. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster with the dramatic ups and downs, except the roller coaster has hundreds of safety hazards and no easy way to get off. And unlike roller coasters, it isn't fun. Bipolar disorder is a complex mental illness. That's why I hate seeing it being reduced down to just feeling happy or sad. It's talking so fast that your words become incoherent, starting huge projects and never finishing them, emptying bank accounts, not sleeping for days, thinking that the highs will last forever only for them to vanish out from underneath you, crashing, burning, because coming down from that high feels like being back where you started. Like all the progress you made means nothing and that you'll never live a normal life. It's taking 5 pills a day, going to therapy twice a week, constantly asking yourself, will I ever be normal? And when did good become not enough? I don't like saying, oh, I'm bipolar, because it makes me feel like having bipolar disorder is a part of my personality or my identity. And I don't like the idea of that controlling me or dictating who I am. Like, I may have bipolar disorder, but bipolar disorder doesn't have me.
What was Grandma's life like?
Grandma had an interesting life. She was born in the late 20s into first the Japanese occupation of China, and in which Japanese basically ripped through China and killed anyone in sight in a barbaric manner and raped women. But she was hidden away in an attic area, and they married her off young to a wealthy family. So she endured the Japanese occupation, and then Civil War came after the Japanese occupation was over. There was infighting, and she boarded 3 out of her 5 children, one by one. She had to make 3 separate trips, and then she left 2 children behind, and went to Taiwan. Took a while, and then married who's your grandpa now, and then started a new life in Taiwan. And then, not knowing what was going to happen with the United States recognizing mainland China, came over here to the United States.
What was your first memory of New York City?
New York City, we flew in. I remember I hated it because we went from a big house to a tiny little apartment in Manhattan. It was dirty, it was crowded, and there was nothing I liked about it.
What was it like growing up in New York City?
Growing up in New York City, the first time we couldn't speak any English. We didn't have any friends. My brother and I would play with each other because we couldn't speak any English, and nobody wanted to be friends with people who are non-English speakers. We settled in Queens in a very white area back then, went to Catholic school, and back then my brother and I were the only Asians in Catholic school. It was a very white area. It isn't what Jackson Heights is like now.
I'm having trouble finding where I fit into the story.
Okay.
I mean, it's just really different how I grew up, feeling like very disconnected from my culture.
Right. You have your white privilege.
Yeah. And I feel like once I am an adult, being Chinese isn't going to be a part of my life at all.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't know how it could be. It's not like I know how to speak the language or make the food.
There are a lot of people like you who are biracial.
Yeah, I guess I just never felt a part of it because of how I look.
Right, but you're not fully accepted by the Chinese community either. When I used to bring you as a little kid to Chinese gatherings, the little kids would ask, why doesn't she look like her mom? Or, if you remember, when you were in 3rd grade, they see your mom, all the kids ask if you're adopted. Or, you don't remember this, but when I would take you out and I asked to get your fingerprinted, they said, only parents could do that. I mean, people think I'm the nanny.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's why I don't tell people really.
Okay.
Unless asked. Because I don't want to have to explain myself. Like, people want some sort of answer. Why do I look like this? I don't have an answer.
So you're not really fully a part of any
well, I can pretend.
The ocean explorer Jacques Cousteau once said, "Water and air, the two essential fluids which all life depends on, have become global garbage cans."
Water pollution is a great threat to our nation, and recently we have taken some major steps backwards. Unfortunately, people have contaminated drinking water for centuries. This contamination led to horrible disease outbreaks such as cholera and typhoid. Today, water pollution remains a pressing problem in America. Over 40% of rivers and lakes are polluted and unsuitable for swimming, fishing, or any other type of activity.
The settlers came and they slowly started damming up the rivers, cutting down the trees, making pastures, and that completely altered the nutrient balance.
Water pollution has the horrific potential to hurt our entire ecosystem, from plants and animals to humans, and change life as we know it.
Water pollution in Connecticut, as for the country as a whole, is extremely serious, in fact urgent.
The Clean Water Act was enacted almost 50 years ago. Its main purpose is to regulate pollutants that enter America's water. But in September 2019, the Trump administration announced the repeal of many significant Obama-era clean water regulations.
We're seeing already, in real life and real time, the disastrous effects of rolling back long-standing policies against contamination.
Senator Blumenthal has some advice on what our generation can do to help with this issue of water pollution.
Activism makes all the difference. Nothing is so powerful as a face and voice, a passion against pollution.
Although water covers most of the earth, it is fragile and needs our help. Ecosystems are at risk. There are things we can do, such as driving less or fixing oil leaks, but some issues are bigger, such as regulating industrial agricultural waste and raising fuel economy standards in vehicles. But individuals can make a difference. Together we can clean our nation's water one person at a time.
Tonight of the worsening condition of British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, now moved to the intensive care unit of a London hospital as he battles.
Helicopter leasing company on the western seaboard. Okay, I haven't had a carb since 2004. Check these out. See these? See these, boys?
Here are the latest numbers as we come on the air. The U.S. is now leading the world in the number of confirmed coronavirus cases. According to Johns Hopkins University, that number reaching nearly 104,000.
Global. It's a word we often use, but many of us have no idea what kind of deep connotation actually comes with the word. Being a member of our global community is not just about serving our friends and family. It's about standing up for all citizens of the earth, no matter the cost. But now, more than ever, unexpectedly, the world is in need of a generation of a strong group of leaders ready to make this ultimate sacrifice. All around us, we hear stories of teenagers of the 2000s serving their own self-interests, being called
disrespectful,
careless,
attached to social media,
ungrateful,
disconnected.
That's not true.
That's not even close.
We are different.
We are different.
We are not the stereotype.
We are a brave and selfless group of individuals, willing to die to self and join together to prevent tragedies, to stop death and global suffering in its tracks.
Millions of teens across the country are staying at home. They're giving up their sports, their school year, and they're spending less time with their friends just to protect the older generation.
We're running errands for those who can't.
We're furthering our education,
Our spiritual life.
our identity as community.
And our relationships.
Through online platforms, it's our time.
Our time. It's time for our generation to take a stand.
To fight for what we believe in.
To care for the elderly, the sick, and the afflicted.
To set aside our wants and desires.
To show that we can stand together as one global community.
To be an example of love.
To fight for all people, no matter their gender,
Race,
background,
age,
religion, or ethnicity.
To prove that when we join forces, we are unstoppable.
To show that there are no borders to love. To prove assumptions of hatred wrong.
to appreciate life.
To change the world forever.
To fight for a generation that fought a war for us. So that we could fight this one.
And conquer.
Let's leave our mark on the world.
A mark of goodness, humility,
generosity,
peace. Our generation is united under the truth that we can make a difference.
Because after all, isn't that what we're called to do?
Come stand with us.
Stand with us.
Right now.
Let's stand. As one.
As one.
Together. 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 Together.
The time is now.
Now. Now. Be loving. Be bold.
Be selfless.
Be humble. Be steadfast in faith. Be yourself. Be brave. Be positive. Unique. Compassionate.
Generous.
Sincere. Determined. We can do this.
In every generation, the children eventually switch roles with the parents. Only this time, we are called to step up early. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
This is our generation.
I'm Mia Molinari, and I'm a freshman at Millis High School. I first met Elise in about 4th grade. She came in and out of the classes, and we often read with her, and I always had my hand up first. Like, I just thought it was really cool, and I thought she was really cool, and I just really wanted to get to know her and spend time with her.
My name's Ella Bender, and I'm a freshman at Millis High School, and I met Elise in 6th grade.
Hi, I'm Cindy Spies. I'm Elise Spies' mom.
I was only 10, so when I first saw her, I was like kind of not confused, but I knew she was a little bit different, and I was honestly curious. Like, I wanted to know a lot about her.
So Elise is actually one of only 6 reported cases of a partial trisomy 18.
Elise may look a little different from the outside, but honestly on the inside, she's just like you or I. She likes to do everything. She just does things a little different.
In 7th grade, I started sitting with Elise at lunch with one of my friends.
Fast forward a couple years. In 7th grade, she had the same lunches as me, so me and my other friend made the choice to sit with her at lunch with her and her other aides. And we learned so much about Elise. We learned about her hand gestures. We learned about how she communicated, and honestly, we all became friends. We exchanged Christmas gifts with her, and we grew a really good relationship with her.
I think especially this year, it's been great because she's been able to get over a lot more and make more friends and have deeper connections with the kids that are here. And the more that she is over here, the more she loves to be over here. So like there's days she's kind of, tired sitting in her chair, and we're like, Elise, do you want to go to school today? And she literally perks right up, and you start to stand her up to go towards the door, and she's totally I'm going. She's very excited about going to school. So it's very important. It's made a huge impact on her. I dare say maybe she's healthier because she's more excited to get up and go and get over to school. So maybe it's a good thing in the health area as well.
I think the kids here at Millis are wonderful. I think coming to school, having them interact with Elise, getting to know her, really brightens up Elise's day. She loves being here. She loves the interaction with the kids, and she loves to see her friends at school.
As I got to know Elise more, I realized she's just like everyone else, and I learned to be open to new people and different types of people. She taught me to have more empathy and to not just judge people by what I see on the outside.
Elise has taught me many things, but one thing that sticks out the most is she's taught me, not through her words, but just through her actions, that it's okay to not go with the crowd. It's okay to sit with different types of people and new people, and thank God in 7th grade I did sit with Elise, because if I didn't, I would not know the true meaning of empathy.
I'll confess that before Elise, I always say BC and after, before Elise and after Elise, because I am a completely different person than I was before Elise, I have to say. I really knew nothing about disabilities or difference. I didn't know anything about anything. And after Elise was born and my world opened up, and I was like, oh, wow, this is a completely different thing.
Elise has such a big heart, and I want everyone to know that, and I want everyone to know what a special girl she really is, and everyone to take the time to get to know her more.
One of the governor's daughters went into self-isolation after being... It's bound to get worse.
It will get worse. It will get much worse before it gets better.
Can you imagine?
For the power of the federal government to this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words. The action I have taken, we haven't really determined to do that at all. And Jennifer,
at the school I teach at. The closest closest shop for students to get food is 7-Eleven. Now 7-Eleven, great convenience store, not exactly known to be the healthiest thing out there. But if you go to Hampton Beach High School, which is the city next over, higher income community, you'll notice that right next to the high school, they have a place that sells acai bowls and organic foods.
I grew up this way as a low income family. I wanted to make change, right? That's why at Viet Rise we really value working with those that are really marginalized and want to uplift them in ways that suits them the best.
We actually organize our communities using civic engagement, for example, right? For us, civic engagement is one tool, right, to create positive and effective social change, right? And that means using the political tools that are available so that we can increase our community's participation in the political process.
So environmental justice to me, it means that all communities of color, all people who are from low-income backgrounds and mixed-income backgrounds have the ability to live in a place where they have access to a good environment, clean air, limited pollution. Yeah.
Because we're human.
We're human.
We're human.
We're human.
We're human.
We're human.
We're human. We are human.
No matter what race we are.
Our ethnic background.
Our sexual orientation.
Or what views we may have.
We're all human. If everyone has a fair chance of living a healthy life, we're creating a future where words like color or income won't exist.
How do I even ask him out?
Just start with hey. Hey, what's up?
Do you think he'll answer?
I don't see why he wouldn't.
I don't know, he's a senior, I'm a sophomore. Maybe he'll...
Listen, just strip the labels, okay? Senior, sophomore, who cares? You guys are only 3 years apart, that's really not that big of a deal.
We've never really hung out though, I don't know.
But you guys met in person, right?
Yeah, just
And
once.
he asked for your Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
So he probably wants to talk to you. Just send him a message.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh my god, he just snapped.
Just now?
Yeah,
Just out of the blue?
I don't know.
Okay, well, open it.
Okay. Ow! Ugh!
Again?
Again.
How long this time?
I don't know. I can't really tell from this angle.
I mean, how long before he sent it?
Oh, like a week?
Huh? It's not bad, actually. Where'd you guys meet?
Family barbecue. He's my cousin's friend.
Oh, so that's not weird at all. What, isn't he like a senior?
I thought labels didn't matter.
Yeah, not when they involve a pedophile.
Shut up.
Hey, I didn't decide the legal age of consent.
I was having such a good day too.
Oh my god, is that your archive?
Yep. It's categorized by social media. Tags?
Just one?
Yep. Chad Michael, 6th grade.
I remember that pervert. Didn't he send that to the whole school?
Thank God I stopped giving out my number after. Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Damn.
I started with all my public settings.
Oh, yeah, that's a total rookie mistake. If you don't have everything on private, you're pretty much asking for it.
How big is yours?
Yeah, my parents have my phone still under total lockdown, so I'm 0
No way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of lucky, but it sucks that my parents are controlling my every move.
I think maybe we should, teach guys to just not send any. Okay, that's a little expensive.
No, absolutely not. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's...
You just have to ignore it.
Let's take care of this.
You got the equipment?
Yep.